Hi, my name is Natalie Rodriguez, and it's very important to have the courage and the knowledge and the bravery to introduce yourself to a whole bunch of students, diverse students that come from different parts of the world, different races, different traditions, to welcome them into a classroom and to try to authorize all of that and combine every diversity that you see to put them together. To be a cultural competent educator is exploring the different cultures that they have been through, the different backgrounds. If somebody has a low socioeconomic status, what it is that their parents are in crack or their parents come from different backgrounds, or with somebody that has so much money, what does it feel like for a student to go through all of those experiences and to be in an environment with different people that go through different things? Where do I see myself in this cultural competency chart? I see myself as cultural competence because I do care about other cultures. I do care about the backgrounds of what the students really go through, and I respect whatever they believe in. If Muslims believe in praying 5 times a day, I respect it because I feel like we can learn so much from them. If they believe in a different God and I have a Muslim student, I will respect. And I'll be like, if you have to pray to your God or you have to separate yourself from students, you have to separate yourself from the classroom just to go pray, because there's students that do that. I had a driver in my job that he was Muslim. Every time he would drop off his papers, if I could do his paperwork, he would go out and he would pray. I don't know what practices they do. I don't know what they explore. But the most important is taking the time with that love and intention and knowing where they came from and who they really are. What will it take for you to get to the next step or to deepen your cultural competence, including understanding your own personal bias? For me, the first step is exploring the different diversities to see what we have to encounter. Because you can't teach a class that you don't know who they really are. If you're just going to the front and just teaching them the material and it's really not going to help them at the end of the day, we're not being teachers and understanding of what they really go through when they go home. For me, it's exploring the different cultures, exploring and knowing what they had to go through just to go inside the classroom and go through what they go through at home to come to a classroom where they don't even know anybody. It could be scary. A foster kid that doesn't have parents come inside a classroom where a lot of students have parents and have that love that they don't even have. What are some specific research and readings, tools, resources, or trainings you might use to further your cultural competency as an educator? For me, I really like this movie that I keep talking about, and I grabbed so much from that movie. It's called Freedom Riders, and I love it because this teacher, she understood what her students were going through. She explored more with them. She learned with them. That's what I'm going to do. If I have a Muslim, if I have a Jewish, if I have anybody, a black, white, Asian, Chinese, anybody with different races, I would explore more by reading books and articles just to understand what it what do they practice. This teacher from Freedom Riders, she took books and she compared it to what they were going through. These students that had nothing. Those students that went out to the classroom just to face war every single day. Fights, gangs, drugs. Families that they weren't even responsible for their children or the students. Parents that didn't even care about what their kids were going through. I can relate to that. I have nieces and nephews that was raised without a mom because she went to jail most of her time. Because right now she's in drugs. My older sister. So I understand what it is when students have nothing. So the important thing is to grab books, to grab articles where they could be more excited about learning. Because a student that comes into a new environment, it becomes very hard when they don't have nothing to compare it with. When they don't have nobody to be like, oh, wow, I've been through that. That's why books come in and they teach us a lot. What would it look like to have cultural inclusivity in your future classroom? For me, it's just having lots of love and understanding, having lots of unity. It's not all about material when it comes to people and students that just go inside a classroom with different diversities. Just like we need social justice in the classroom, it's just literally making everybody united and equal. They can have the same chance as any other students. And I feel like the only way is not just by reading or learning, but by showing them love and understanding them and not forcing anything onto them. And if there's anybody with different diversities, how would I respect them? I wouldn't force them to do anything. Sure, we could teach them about Christ, but if they don't practice that, we can't force anything on them because of their traditions, because of what they've been learned to do. Because as a kid, I was learned to be a Christian. As kids, you probably was learned to be Jewish. You probably was learned to celebrate Kwanzaa or Hanukkah. I was raised to celebrate Christmas. Just examples. So how will you ensure you are respecting students as individuals with different personal backgrounds and skills or talents? It is to know and respect what they do. Always putting their needs first and not judging where they come from. For me, that's the most important. Because when we don't judge the students that come inside our classroom and we acknowledge where they came from, then we get a sense and we are able to show them that love that maybe they don't have. And we are able to understand them and be there for them. So that's my whole thing, is to show them love and understand where they come from. Thank you so much for this.